Hello, this is Denver Henderson with the Williams County Public Library, continuing our series of Lay Me Down to Rest, the Cemeteries of Williams County, and we are still in Brady Township. This unassuming field is a cemetery that was a private family plot called the Bodel Cemetery. The cemetery first appears on the Williams County Atlas of 1874. The name of Bodel seems to be proper because the cemetery was owned by the Bodels and they set it aside as a cemetery. Mr. Paul Van Gundy labeled it as the McIntyre Cemetery from a later owner. In 1988, when Dick Cooley wrote his book on cemeteries in Williams County, there were 3 tombstones still visible. As you can see, only one remains, broken and sinking into the ground. This cemetery is located near County Road H and County Road 1950. You would never notice that it was a cemetery. Mr. Cooley says that the only 3 remaining tombstones were known to exist, that of Samuel Snow, who died at 32 years of age in 1847, the infant's Kunkel died in 1855, and Elizabeth McIntyre, who died in 1863. Mrs. McIntyre's tombstone is the only one that is still there. Mr. Van Gundy said in his research in 1974, he describes the area as a small, grassy, wooded knoll. The only partial legible stone even then was of Elizabeth. And now we are at Ely Cemetery, also located in Brady Township. The first burial here in Ely Cemetery was in 1843. Asher Bird was buried here in October of that year. Ely Cemetery, of course, was yet another family plot containing Hartmans, Bates, Elys. And as you can see, it is in a state of disrepair. It is also quite a ways off the road. My colleague and I had to walk across a very large cornfield. But speaking of my colleague, when researching this cemetery, he discovered a family connection. One of his ancestors' first wife was buried here in Ely. And I would like to tell you that if you are interested in pursuing your family genealogy or interested in your family history, you can contact the local history center of the Williams County Public Library by calling 833-633-7323, extension 275. Ask for Holly Harmon or Jane Huffman, and they can assist you in all the resources that we have. We have publications that deal with cemeteries, family histories, records from Williams County, and also the adjacent counties. So if you're interested in local history or your genealogy, please give that number a call and ask for Jane or Holly. Many of those who were buried in Ely Cemetery have since been moved. Most of them were moved to West Franklin, which is just north of here in Fulton County. One of the interesting stories about a person who was buried here was Mary Borton Ely. About a quarter of a mile from the cemetery is the Quaker Meeting House, if you recall from one of our earlier videos. And Mary used to walk to meeting every Sunday, and she was followed by her dog. Now, Mary died, unfortunately, relatively young, in her 40s. But habits die hard, and that dog, even after her death, continued to walk to the Quaker Meeting House every Sunday, lay down and wait for the meeting to be over, and then walk back home. One of the interesting things about this cemetery is that as they moved the bodies, they left the stones here. And one of the farmhouses in the area has 2 paving stones in their porch that are tombstones from this cemetery. As you can see from the last cemetery and this one, this may be the last recording of this place. It might disappear in the next 30 years. It's kind of a sad thought, but it's natural. For the Williams County Public Library, I'm Denver Henderson. Stay safe, stay healthy. I bid you peace.